Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Let's put this over here. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Happy Sunday morning. It is Sunday, May 19th, 2024. And I am coming to you live from my home in Virginia, Sterling, Virginia to be exact. All right. So, what we're going to do today, we're just going to continue working on GeoSketch. I might seem a little out of it. I woke up like 20 minutes ago. Not for this. I mean, I would have been happy if I was still sleeping. I would have been perfectly happy canceling this stream and just sleeping through it. But no. I woke up, got out of bed, couldn't get back to sleep. But I'm still a little groggy. But nothing will stimulate your mind more than programming. So anyway, last night I mentioned yesterday at the end of the stream that I would likely work on this game a little bit while I was during the day yesterday. And yesterday was really rainy. It was a kind of a dreary day. So I did in fact spend a little bit of time, not as much as I thought I would, but I did spend a little bit of time working on GeoSketch, our game. And as you can see, what I did was I had ChatGPT add a background to it. I said, ChatGPT, make a background for a geography game based on drawing countries. And this is what ChatGPT came up with. I think it's fine, and it will do perfectly for now. And then, of course, we have the game. Whoops. So that was free mode. I thought today maybe what we could do. I think the timed mode, that there's a very good scaffolding, I guess you could call it, scaffolding in for the time mode right now, right? Like we are working through and we get a game over and then that's it. So I think for the timed mode, we have a good start, right? It's by no means finished, but we have a good start. I thought today maybe we would work on the countdown mode. And Captain Fandom Nerd is in the room and he says, Good morning, happy Sunday morning, Captain Fandom Nerd. And my good pal, notice how I said good pal because he never says that anymore in his stream. My good pal, Bird O'Prey 5 is in the stream saying Coplog. Good morning to you too, Joe. So yeah, I think our plan of working on countdown mode is good, and I suspect it's going to go a lot faster, right? Because we have lessons learned from timed mode. We have a lot of code that can be reused. For example, the game start that can be reused. Where it counts down. So I think there's a lot of. I think maybe this is something we can get done probably in the next hour or two. Though I'm about to smack the S out of that bird. Can you hear that bird? You hear that goddamn bird? He's like right outside the window. One of the things I thought of doing today was I thought maybe, let me close this. I was thinking maybe, because it's a nice day outside. Whoa, what is that? Oh, Saltai. I thought I was looking at something a little scandalous here on the screen. No, but so one of the I have all these ideas for projects I want to do. I have all these these I wanted to build a cat enclosure, for example. I wanted to have something that I think we finished one mode before starting another. We finished it. I mean, we finished it in the sense that we have the scaffolding in place, right? Like, because in order to finish it, we're gonna have to come up with the database scheme. We're gonna have to start working on eventually we're gonna start working on the database. We're gonna eventually start working on the functionality that takes like KML maps and converts them to a grid so that we can measure how close the person drew. There's all kinds of things like that. So no, I disagree. I think it's best to get the scaffolding in place for everything, and then everything else should just kind of fall in place, right? Because you get the scaffolding in for the 3 modes, and then you work on the database after that. I think that's the best way to do it. And then suddenly you have the database for all 3 modes. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about one of the projects I was thinking of undertaking today. So I have these time game controller. I have these wireless cameras, right? I have indoor versions and I have like 3 outdoor ones, and I only really use one outdoor camera. And so I have these 2 that like you know, my wife and I, we just put in various places in the house. Like normally it's related to the dog, right? Normally, like if I go away and like she's here, she'll put one of them like right next to the bed so that we can watch the dog, and things like that. So I was thinking as a project, what it would be cool is if I could either buy or build a birdhouse, like a little birdhouse, and hang it, mount it on the tree in the back, my backyard. I have several trees in my backyard that I can mount it on. And then I could put one of my wireless cameras inside, like, you know, kind of mount it on top, looking down on the birds. And then that way we could like have a camera that's just bird watch, like, you know, bird o prey watch. Although that's something different, but I think that'd be cool. Now, unfortunately, none of the cameras I have do RTSP, real time, have RTSP support. RTSP is real time streaming protocol. So I can't connect the camera up to like YouTube stream, but I thought that would be pretty cool. Like, I mean, and then so last night, of course, I was looking into like, well, how much do cameras that do like RTSP cost? And they're not that expensive, but I would want one that does it over Wi-Fi and that does cell, right? Because I would that has not cell, has solar power. Because I wouldn't want to put it in my backyard, and I don't want to run a line and all that. Let's see. Bird of Prey says, "What are you, a professional programmer now?" I'm good at pretending, Mister. I have several trees. I know. I'm so privileged. You know, somebody commenting on one of my videos today. How do you get to do all that traveling? How? What? How are you? Why are you? Oh, must be nice being able to do all that traveling. Yeah, he's gonna flip out in a month or so when I go to Africa. So I booked a trip to Cape Town, South Africa, and then I'm in Cape Town for 12 days. It's a little less than 2 weeks. I think it's either 11 or 12 days, and then I go to Gaborone, Botswana, capital of Botswana, for a week, a solid week. And then I go to Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, for a full week. Then I go back to Cape Town for one night, just one more night in Cape Town before the next day flying to Sao Paulo in Brazil and staying in Sao Paulo for a week. And then I go to Bolivia, and I'll be in Bolivia until, I think, September. I need to look at that, actually. Maybe that's something we could do. I want to look and see. No, I'm not going to put my calendar on the screen. That's a bad idea. But I could put a calendar on the screen. I could do that. Let me do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. Anyway, so yeah, I'm thinking of coming back to the States September, like probably Labor Day weekend. I think I'll probably that's a good weekend to travel, right? Labor Day, like nobody's on a plane. Okay, I had loaded up Visual Studio Code because what I wanted to do is I wanted to create these new files. And I prefer doing this in Visual Studio Code because Visual Studio is like it's a little ham-fisted. It tries to hold your hand a little too much when creating files. And really, I just want to create a simple text file. So we have the Countdown Game controller and the Countdown Game Over controller. And basically what we want to do is, remember when we wrote these game controller classes, we kind of just put them all in one file just to kind of like get them in place. So, but now we want to kind of move one of them, at least one of them, into its own file. So let's just start with a basic header file. I'm talking like Joe. Basic header file. So we do the program once, and then we create our namespace. It's always a good idea to kind of like have a basic, at least a namespace. We'll paste our classes in like this. Now we are referencing game controller here as the base class, so we're going to have to include game controller. The game controller header file, at least, not HTTP, not HPP, just H. And we are going to save this as, what is it called? It was the game countdown control. These are some long names. Countdown game controller .h, and I'm going to copy. Well, no, I'm not going to copy. I might as well copy. All right, so that's going to save there. And what we're going to do is we're going to create also the corresponding CPP file, which for now we'll just include the header file and open up a namespace. And I like to put a comment that tells you what the namespace. I don't know if and then we're going to name this, of course, the corresponding .cpp file. And let me check if I put no, I didn't put the little namespace comment here. And also, it is always a good idea to end your files with a new line. And then I did that there. You actually, I forget what compiler it is. It might be Clang that will actually warn you if you don't have an empty line at the end of your file. So is it Clang? I don't know. Okay. We got that. And then, of course, we need to add it to our CMake file. So let's find that. That bird better shut the F up. Game controllers .cpp, and then we can just copy this, put this down here, and then we have a .header file. Okay. A .h file. Okay, and we put that in, and now if we load, I should not have closed Visual Studio, but well, what's done is done. You can only do so much. Let it open up over. Okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna come over here. Joe, did you say you want me to play some music in the background? All right, I'll do that. Okay. So we got to run the zero check project so we can rebuild the CMake files. And then this should ask me if I want to reload the project, which I do. Yes, reload all. And now we should see our new countdown game controller.h header file. And this should compile. Let's just make sure it compiles, because all we did was just move. Oh, it's not going to compile. It's not going to compile. Because I did the game engine, or is it the game screen will now need... Who needs it? Somebody needs it. Yeah, game controller.cpp needs it. Okay. Alrighty. So we did not include the header file in the game controller class, which of course is where the factory function is. I think that might be the only person that needs to. So Joe definitely wants music. Got it. Countdown game controller. Countdown game controller. Did it just, let me see, let me just try building again. Did it not take it for some reason? All right, it's building. I think it built now. So Joe definitely wants music. Let me look on YouTube over here. We'll look for, I'm trying to think of something that's like Joe's style. Like, well, first of all, we got to put royalty free, minimal techno. I think that's kind of up Joe's alley. Let's see. Yeah. Let me turn that up. There we go. There we go. Now I don't know if you can hear that on the little on OBS. Like I'll show you OBS. Like there's what the desktop audio says. Now if I do this, yes. But I don't know. I don't know if I can do this or not. I mean, I don't know how loud that is. All right. Though music might be preferable to you singing Indian hits or what La-dee-dee-da-da. Though singing might be preferable to you singing Indian hits or whatever you were doing the other day. I suspect it's funny. Like my mother, like I love my mother, but I do not love when my mother sings. And my mother likes to sing. And I just remember growing up that my mother singing, it was like nails on a chalkboard. And it wasn't that it was so terrible. It wasn't that she was like a bad singer, or a horrible singer. It was just that it was just so annoying for some reason. And so growing up, I realized that I had instilled that same distaste in a parent's singing into my daughter, because I would often sing around my daughter. Dad, please. Dad, please. Just Dad, please. Okay. We are compiling now. So I think, where do we start? So the countdown game controller should have a game start controller. It should do the 1, 2, 3, boom already. Let's make sure that is the case. And then maybe, depending on how quickly this goes, but then again, it's not going to be quite as quick because I'm talking. So let's see, countdown. Yep, there we go. 3, 2, 1. And then it makes sense that this is what this is doing. Okay. All right. Now we got a countdown game controller. Let's go ahead and push these changes just for the heck of it. Whenever I do like new file changes like this, I prefer to like push them to source code sooner rather than later, just in case. You never know when your computer's going to crash. Whoops. Let's go ahead and be proper. Countdown game controller files. All right. Perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and move some of this over into the CPP file, if it'll let me. Some of this code, move definition. For some reason it won't let me do constructors. I don't know why. Well, let me do the update file. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, but see, it makes it inline. Why does it make it inline? That's so weird. I wonder if it's like looking at the body of the function and it's like, oh, this is a really simple function, so I'm going to make it inline. I don't know how it decides to make it inline or not. Huh. Anyway. It's probably going to do the same for this. I think what we'll do is we'll just move them all at once. Or we'll move them all, and then we'll go through and we'll remove the inline, because the inline is going to cause a problem. Let's see. Okay, well, the refactor button's not doing anything there. What about here? Okay, there it goes. That works. What about here? We got this one, and we got this one. All right, so it doesn't want to move. Oh, that's interesting. So these are just empty functions. It won't move either. What if I do... I wonder if I do this. Oh, you know what? It might be this. I wonder if that useless semicolon was causing the issue with the helper. See, I got the semicolon here, and you don't need it. Let me see. All right, so let's try moving this now. I'm just curious. It worked. Yeah. So it was either the semicolon. What if I put the semicolon back? No. Okay. So I think maybe it was everything on one line was what was causing the problem. Oh, and look, it even added the extra semicolon there. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Okay. Now why won't it let me move the constructors? Nah. All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time debugging Microsoft's code. So they can debug their own code. I suspect it has something to do, I suspect it has something to do with the formatting, of how I have it formatted in my CPP file, which, you know, of course it's formatted well. So that is probably, or is it formatted good? You do something, no wait. Oh, the food was good. Something is good, you do something well. So the code is formatted good. Yes, it is formatted good. That doesn't sound right. It was formatted well. The code is formatted good. It has to be good. It has to be good. The code is formatted good. Even though it doesn't sound right, it has to be. The code is formatted good. I don't know. Maybe we'll ask ChatGPT in a minute. All right, let's see. All right, we're working on this, and we got to remove this code here. The code is formatted good. It doesn't. That sounds ugly, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. We need a destructor. I did not have one to begin with. I'm not sure why. Oh my God, I can't type. Do you have to put the override on the destructor? I don't know. Joe, is it the code is formatted good, or it has to be the code is formatted good, because it would be that's poorly formatted. Oh wait, no, it's poorly formatted. That sounds right. but poorly in that case is an adverb. So the adverb is well. The code is formatted well. Now that sounds right. But the food tastes good. The food is good. How's the food? The food is good. You wouldn't say the food is well. Like, that sounds weird. Anyway. All right, let's make sure we're building. Let's make sure we're compiling. And one of the things we changed with the game controllers now is they have to call the draw functions, right? Because if they don't, we made it so that we're not letting the base class handle that. The classes themselves have to handle it. I'm pretty sure is what we did. Where do we go? Yeah, right here. Draw drawables. Say that 5 times quickly. Draw drawables, and then draw the GUI. So we'll come over here, and nothing to do. Replace that because now we have something to do, and we'll put this one. Now they're not going to. The only thing the Countdown game controller should draw is the tile manager, and I think that's it. Oh, and then maybe the clock. For some reason, the clock is not part of the game controller. Maybe that's something we need to change. We need the clock that we display. Maybe we need to make the clock part of each game controller. All right, we'll see. All right, so here we go. New game. Countdown mode. Start game. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it's not drawing anything. Okay. All right. So it's definitely, well, I was going to say it's definitely drawing. Let's make sure we're getting into the right function. Mama Prey thinks well sounds good. The code is formatted well. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it does. The code is formatted good doesn't sound right. I think it's look, ChatGPT. No, I don't have a Google device in here. Let me see. ChatGPT. I'm not even signed into ChatGPT. Oh, I am signed into Copilot. We can ask Copilot. Oh, wait. What is... Here, let me put this over here. As long as there's nothing of scandalous. There's nothing scandalous here, I don't think. Okay. What is proper grammar? The code is formatted well, or the code is formatted good. All right. AI will tell us. AI is not only going to... Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? All right, let me copy this. Let's try again. Let's start over again. Okay, well, we're going to try it again. Paste. Let's see what happens. It wants to verify I'm human again. Oh my stars and garters. Come on. Do you hear the music? Oh. All right, let me sign in the ChatGPT on another window. Oh my stars and garters. I swear, you try, oh my God. Now AI, like ChatGPT is now asking. Why do I have such problems with computers? Like, why? Mom thinks the game is formatted well. No, is well formatted. Now that's a good point. The game is well formatted. In that case, well is definitely the adverb, right? But like if I say the car is pink, pink is an adjective. So good is the adjective, well is the adverb. So I would say the code is, well, you would say the code is good. Ah, okay, I got it now. The code is formatted well because the well is modifying the formatted, which makes it an adverb. The code is formatted well. Yes. Because, is formatted. Yes, because formatted in that case is a verb. The code is formatted well. Yes, I think that's right. Yes, Mamo Prey was correct, as always. Always listen to your mother, people. Always listen to your mother. Most of the time. Okay, here we go. Countdown mode. And go. Okay, so we are calling the drawable. We're drawing. I mean, we're calling the drawing functions. We're just not drawing anything. So let's figure out like why. Like what is so special about the countdown game controller that it feels like it doesn't have to draw? Like why does it have the privilege of not having to draw? So basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at timed game controller, and I feel like there's something obvious, right? There's something obvious that we did that that we're just forgetting, that we're just not doing, and I don't know what it is. So I'm looking, because the timed game controller definitely only calls draw drawables and draw GUI. Those are defined in the base class, unless, are they overwritten? Let's see. Okay, the music's a little too loud for me. Is it too loud? No, I'm gonna assume it's not. Right, so I'm not overriding draw drawables or draw GUI. I haven't added, oh. Well, wait a minute. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. The game start controller makes the UI invisible, and then the game controller, because then remember the controller. Let me find like a whiteboard. Whiteboard. Oh wait, let's just do it let's do it on the window I'm sharing. Whiteboard. Okay. So the way it works, go ahead. Oh my God, I just want to draw. Okay. Thank you. Okay, can I have a pen? Okay, thank you. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Okay, so the way it works is, remember, we have the game start controller, which we're going to call game start controller. That's how every game begins, with the game start controller. And then the controller, when that's done, it passes it off to the main game controller, right? And then that controller passes functionality off to the game over controller. Now, the thing is this one can be, this is the timed mode. This is also the countdown mode. And then this is also the free mode. It can be any of those. So the type of controller depends on the type of game you've selected, and then that also will dictate which one. Here I was trying to be clever, and this website doesn't work. Control C. Does Control C not work? I mean, it says it does, but I don't get it to work. Anyway, but the type of controller that's in the middle part here dictates the type of game over controller. But anyway, so what's happening is this one here is setting the grid invisible. And when we worked on the time controller, we had to set the grid visible, because this one before it sets it invisible. So now Countdown has to do the same thing. I think it's just as simple as that. And I think that's done in Start Controller. Yep, right here. What? Oh, wait, that's the game Start Controller. Let's look at Tiled Manager Controller. Start Controller, right here. Screen set visible true. So what we need to do is we need to simply do the same thing, but we can go over here. Alrighty. All right, let's see. Game countdown controller. All right, time controller. Let's override both of these for now. Are they protected or are they public? They're public. Okay. All right, and then we'll define. All right, perfect. And then back here, we'll go ahead and we'll create this. Okay. So what we need to do is simply, we just simply need to do that, right? That's all we need to do. Well, why are you giving me a problem? Why is that oh, because let me see, what does it not have? Game screen is incomplete. So let's put that. All right, That should work. Oh, wait. I might have to go up a level. Yeah. I am hungry. I am hungry. I am ready for some Sunday brunch. Yeah, so I'm going to be gone for quite a while. I shouldn't really announce it. So I'm not going to be gone. I'm going to be staying at home with my pew-pews, guarding my house like I should. It will be guarded. Okay, 3, 2, 1. We should see a grid here. Yep, and we do. Perfect. All right, now why isn't the timer being shown? Did we go ahead and move the timer into... We did. Okay, and that's good. That's what we should have done. So the timer was moved into the controller itself, right? So these objects here, you got to remember, let me undo this. Each one of these could be 3 different classes. So it makes sense that each individual one owns the timer. Originally, so what you could think of it is this encapsulating thing right here. This is game... God. This encapsulating thing actually is game screen. And the game screen encapsulates the controllers. So, we'll make that. And originally I had it so that the timer was owned by game screen. And then I moved it so that now it's timed by the individual controllers, because something like free mode might not necessarily need a timer. So anyway, all right. So, but this is also kind of the bad part, because now we're just going to be copying a bunch of code. But I guess that's okay. I mean, well, it's not actually going to be copied. Not all of it, at least, because instead of counting up, we're going to have to count down. So that'll be something interesting in and of itself. So let's see. So we have our timers. Okay, so one is the timer label, and then the other one is whether or not the timer is running. So we can go ahead and create the timer, and we're literally going to steal the code from the... We're going to steal the original code here, right there. And countdown game. And was that was done probably no, that's done in the constructor. We'll follow the same pattern. We'll do it in the constructor. Okay, so we're creating the label tiles. Oh. I'm not gonna. So, okay, so the issue is I guess in Time Game Controller, I create a reference to the tile manager, but I don't think I'm going to do that here. I think instead, I'm just going to get the reference when I need it. Instead of like kind of storing one and putting it aside, I'm just going to go ahead and store one as I need it. Tushar Aurora says, what is going on here? Who codes in the morning? I do. Actually, I find that for whatever reason, I am most productive in the morning, right? I wake up, I drink my Diet Mountain Dew, and then I put that and on the wrong place. I am most productive in the morning. Like, oh shoot, I cannot type. I mean, when I can type, I'm more productive. But I would say, unfortunately, I often have a lot of meetings, so it's like I can't be as productive as I would like to be. But I used to wake up really early. Like and Joe knows, because Joe was the same way. Oh, LDG Freenet says good morning. Good morning, LDG Freenet. But Joe, Joe and I, like, we would both be up by like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and like I would work. And it was great because what you would do is you would work from like 5:30 in the morning until like 9:30 when the meetings start. And then nowadays I have a ton of meetings. And so when the meetings are done by like 12 or 1 o'clock in the day, I'm beat. I'm beat. So it's like, I don't do a lot of programming in the afternoon. Morning time, most productive, easily the most productive. All right, let's see if this works. So for anybody just joining, we are creating a game, a geography game where the object of the game is to draw maps of countries. It will give you a real country, and then you have to draw a map as close as you can as to what you think it looks like, and then you will be measured and scored and evaluated and blah blah blah. All right, so you should have a timer. Good, the timer works. That's there, and we can draw on the map. All right, that's excellent. Now what we need to do is we need to start the timer, and we want to count down. But if we're going to count down, then that indicates that we know how much time we're starting with. So this is where it gets tricky. Like, do I want to hard code? I think for now we'll just hard code how much time. And let's say we start with a minute, right? We're going to start with 1 minute. Joe says the good old days. Yeah, it was the good old days, man. Oh, like literally like 10 years ago. Nowadays, I gotta say, I have been sleeping like a champ. Like I am in my bed usually between 9 to 9:45. Usually, actually, 9:15 to 9:45. Somewhere within that half hour, I am in bed. And then I'm usually asleep by like 10:30. And then I sleep solidly until like 6:30. Sometimes I would say maybe 3 nights a week I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. But other than that, oh my God, I've been getting a solid 8 hours of sleep consistently for like the past month. And it has been amazing. I don't know what's changed, but I think probably that I've been working out. Actually, that actually makes a lot of sense. But it's been amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a millisecond time. So we'll store that in a 32-bit int. And then countdown. No. We're going to call it, what should we call it? So it's the countdown, or it's the number, the time remaining milliseconds, I guess. And I said, so it's 1,000 times 60. So it's 60. So that's 1 minute, right? Time remaining milli. Okay. Then what we want to do, countdown game controller. All right, now I'm all distracted. So the first thing we should do is just go ahead and initialize this text, right? And we have similar functionality to format like that. I really should just pull that out. Where did it go? Timed game controller. Here we go. Right here. I probably should just pull this out into a function, but nah, I'm not going to. Not right now. All right, so let's see. So what did I call that? I already forgot what I called it. I called it time remaining milliseconds, and then we just have that here. Right there, right there, right there. All right, did I not include format? I guess I didn't include format. Tushar Aurora says subscribe. Thank you, Tushar. I appreciate that. Oh Lord Bits, how many your celery? So I don't eat a lot of celery. I don't. I do eat a lot of broccoli and cauliflower. I like cauliflower. Cauliflower, I guess it's low carb. I like cauliflower. Okay. What were we doing? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so I should be setting the text format properly on that. Now what we can do is we can just do the countdown. Let's just start the countdown. And I'm pretty sure I just do that by looking at like second intervals. Let me see. So I'm looking to see how I do the count up. And I'm pretty sure I just made it a second interval. Let's see. Start up here. If timer on. Really? Oh, no, that makes sense. That makes sense what I did. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. How do I want to do this? Start value. How did I do this? Oh, okay, okay, so I did this. Okay, this is going to be it's not going to be too tricky. I do need to know the start value. I need to know the time I started and then subtract that from the milliseconds. Let's see. Why do I feel like this should not be this difficult? Oh, it would just be start value minus. No. How many? Oh, how many your celery? I already read that. All right, so let's just do this. We're going to add some stuff that I probably will end up deleting because I don't think I'm going to need it, but I want to just add it just to kind of get my bearings straight. Well, what did I do here? Optional time point. I'm copying a bunch of code, which like if I was doing this like professionally right now, I would probably. No, I think a better way to say this would be, if I was reviewing this PR, I would probably be like, why are you copying all this stuff all over? Just put it somewhere common. Why are? But you know what? I'm doing it because I'm lazy. That's why. And I'm doing it because nobody's paying me to do this. Unless you guys want to start like, throwing some super chats in the chat room, then I'm not. I'm doing this for me and for your entertainment. I'm your programming monkey. All right, so what we want to do, we just need to know how much time has elapsed, and we need to subtract it from our time that we have. Why do I for some reason it's confusing me, but it's not really confusing at all. So what we need is we just need another start, right? We just need to know when the round started, and we need to save the time. Wait a minute. Am I using round start? What am I using round start for? Find all. Okay. So round start is just telling me how much time elapsed. Well, in that case, what am I using start for? All right, that's an old file. Timed game controller. What? What did I just see? What did I just witness? Let me see. Round start. Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. Am I okay? I'm getting confused because I have round start and I have start. Do I need both of them? Aren't they the same thing? Because a round is each different country, right? So if you're because when the controllers or wait a minute. This is why naming is so important in programming, because then when you come back to this like a week or two later and you're like, okay, what was I doing? If your names are just like, X equals Y plus B, you're like, what the hell is that doing? I don't understand what that is. So naming is really important. No, bro. How much money do you make in a month? In a month, from YouTube, I don't make anything. Like I do this out of my pure heart. I know what you're asking. I know what you're really asking. And I'll just say it's somewhere between minimum wage and Elon Musk. Just put it there. Okay. What was I doing? So naming is really important, and now I'm kind of confused. Okay, I bet. Okay, I think no. It still don't. It just still doesn't make sense. What? Oh. Am I using this? I might, maybe, no, I am using it. That's time game controller. Time game controller start. Update the timer. So start. I'm so confused. I don't know why. Start has value. Start. I mean, I'm still trying to understand what I'm using. I'm just going to close some of this. What I'm using round start for, and what I'm using. No. Wait a minute. Because I time how much it takes each country. So let's go back to our little chart, right? So within timed, whoops, do I have a hand? There we go. All right, so within the timed controller, this is the timed controller. I have individual rounds that happen. Actually, that's a poor way to draw it. We can go like this, right? Control is handed off to a round. And it looks like I am timing each individual one, right? That's part of your score, is how each individual one is timed. But then I'm timing the entire thing as well. But if I'm doing that, why am I doing that? Do I need to do that? I wanted to run the game because I wanted... Oh, wait. Because I wanted to run the game because I wanted to see... I want to see something. I want to see if... Am I actually... I'm not doing anything with it. Let me see. Because basically, I think I can get rid of one of those variables, is what I'm getting at. Timed mode, start game. 3, 2, 1, go. So here's timer. This is round start. This is by round start. Oh. Okay. So I was thinking that this time here, right, the time that we're looking at on the screen, I was thinking that resets every time I hit the space bar, but it doesn't. It just continues on. And in the background, I'm timing each round. Got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. So we're going to have to do kind of the same pattern in the countdown timer. I mean, in the countdown thing. And again, I'm copying code. And again, I would probably reject the PR and be like, why are you copying so much code? Stop copying code. Just put it in some kind of generic base class or use some kind of templated class or something like that. But this is just too much code. Or this is just too much copied code. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Like, I would. But you know what? Do as I say, not as I do. All right, so round start. So oh God, this is gonna bug me. It's already I'm thinking about the code I'm gonna have to copy, and it's gonna bug me because it's really just a lot. Because on the countdown, I need to keep track of I still need to keep track of how much time, or do I? Yeah, I think I should. So when we're counting down, right? When you're said, okay, draw as many countries as you can in 5 minutes. I'm still going to have to keep track of how long it took to draw each individual country, because I think that should contribute to your score, right? I think so. So if I'm going to do that, then yeah. It's just a lot. I'm going to be copying a lot of code. The only thing that will really change is... Really, the only thing that's going to change is how the time gets displayed, and the time once something hits 0, once you don't have any time left, the controller ends. Really need better terminology, right? Because on a countdown controller, so we have countdown controller, right? And then we still have each individual country we have to draw. Right now, I'm calling each one of these a round, whereas I kind of think that this entire thing is a round, right? Maybe not. All right, I'm probably overthinking it. Okay, what were we doing? Start round time. Okay, game countdown controller. So we need a lot of the same stuff. We've added the timer. We're going to need so in the update method, let's start with update. Oh, wait, no. Oh, we don't do anything in update. Are we doing it in pull? Timed game controller. We're not doing anything in update? Oh, that's the game over controller. My bad. Okay. Update, yeah. So literally, oh, and then we have an update timer function. Oh, that's just updating the text. Man, this is copying a lot of data. Oh God, I mean a lot of code. Oh, I'm moral. It's like a moral conundrum, right? I'm like morally struggling with this. Like it's literally just causing me. It's giving me, and this is not a word that I use often, but it's giving me the heebie-jeebies. So I feel like what we should do, I feel like the proper way to do this is have a timed base class, but that's going to add like another hour to everything I want to do. And I don't want to deal with that right now. You know what? We can do that next time. The next time we take this journey together, we can do it. Okay. Let's try to get this done. Because like I said, I knew I was going to be distracted by just talking and, all this crap. All right, update timer. This could be good. I mean, literally, this is going to be so... Oh, my God, it's going to be so much of the same code. All right, whatever. Whatever. Again, nobody's paying me to do this. You guys want to start paying me to do it, then I'll do it right. But for now, I'm just going to do it quick. All right, update timer. And then we can put an update timer function in here. We could probably just copy the one that we have. Where is update timer? It's right here. Okay, update timer right there. It's going to be slightly different. We need, okay, we need to change this name here. Okay, we need to include the chrono library, I think. No, we don't. Let's see, timer on. Okay, that's all good. We have it finished. We don't need to worry about this right now. Update timer. Okay. Okay. So we should be at a place now where we're updating the timer. This is probably going to increment. I think that's what this is going to do. Let's just make sure that's working correctly. We're going to be, this is going to be counting up, and we're going to have to change it to just count down. We're going to have to change it to count down, and then we're going to have to change it to end the round when time runs out. Countdown mode. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, it's not doing anything. Why is it not doing anything? Okay, it should definitely be counting up though, right? Shouldn't it? Oh, wait, let's get rid of these inlines. Visual Studio, why do you put... I don't understand why Visual Studio is putting inline in here. Okay, inline. So it comes into update the timer, start... Yeah, oh, timer might not be on. Okay, so maybe if when we start the controller... do we do it in here? We simply have to we simply have to turn the timer on. Okay. And I am of the belief that turning the timer on should be one of the last things that are done. That is done. All right, there we go. And then, but we don't have a lot to do yet, so we can just do this. And so now we should be counting up, but we'll be counting up from, well, no, it's you're gonna see, you might see the text 1 minute for a second. Oh no, you won't. No. Start. Nah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I know what we're gonna do. I know how to do this. All right, countdown. Go. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, see, it's counting up. Okay. What we'll do, I just figured it out in my head. Oh, but now I've forgotten it already. Let's see. We're going to take the number of milliseconds that have passed, right? Constellation, time, space, count. Why? Did I really write this code? Did I write this code? Oy. Because this is but actually I want to cast this. I can't believe I wrote that code because this is actually performance critical code. And I am calling a function multiple times. Why wouldn't I have just put it into a constant? Again, you know, if you were paying me, start paying me, and then I'll do it better. All right. So that, you know, just, you know, you go ahead, you do your super chats, and you pay me, and then I'll do this professionally. Right now, I'm just doing it like, you know, for YouTube. Okay. So we got that. So what did we want to do? Okay. What I wanted to do was I had a variable that said when we start, right? So it's this time remaining. That's what this is. We're gonna give ourselves. Oh wait, no, 1,000 milliseconds, 60 seconds. So let's just do 5 minutes for now. So we have this time remaining millisecond thing. So what we'll do, so when we update the timer, we're actually going to update that, right? We're going to use that time remaining to update the timer. And what we're going to do is we're just going to just simply do this. So the time that has elapsed, we're going to subtract from the time remaining. And then we'll have a condition. Oh, I might need to change. I think time remaining is an unsigned int. I think I might need to change it to an int. Is that the case? Yeah, it's an unsigned int. We'll have to make that an int. So if you don't understand what I just said, the time remaining is going. Why? Okay, how long? What is going on here? Windows does this for some reason. I don't understand why, but suddenly it says, oh, I can't overwrite the exe. I'm real sorry about that, but I can't overwrite the exe. You're going to have to try again later. I don't understand what's going on with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and I'm going to manually delete it. So let's see, we got here, we got this, we got this. We got rel with dev info, and here it is, and we're going to delete. Okay. All right, so if you don't understand what I was saying about time remaining having to be an int, I can't have it as an unsigned int. And the reason that is because time remaining is going to be counting down. And we want it's possible it could have a negative value, right? Because if we subtract time elapsed from time remaining and then it goes slightly under 0, we need to know that so that we can say, okay, stop the game. What in the F? All right, now Windows is saying, I can't delete that file. I'm real sorry about that, but I can't delete the file. There's nothing that annoys me more when you buy a computer and the operating system gives you an error message that says you don't have permission to do that. It's like, mother effer. Who owns who here? Do I own the computer? Like, who's in charge, me or the computer? Obviously the computer. All right, this should be counting down. Oh, but it's counting down in seconds, and you see how it's gone into the negative? Okay. Ha ha ha. Milliseconds. That means 60 seconds. Okay, 1,000, that's 1 second, times 60, that's a minute, times 5, that's 5 minutes. What am I doing here? Milliseconds. I'm definitely getting milliseconds. Minutes, seconds, and this is called tenths. That should be thousandths. We'll fix that in a minute. I want to know why it's counting down so fast. Lapse, what is it? Let's see, because we have the steady clock here, and we're getting the number of milliseconds that have passed. All right, I'm going to set a breakpoint and look at this. Because what I should see... 3, 2... It's going to stop like right away. Okay. Okay, it hasn't stopped. Let's... 300,000. And it's gone a little bit. Wait a minute. I think the formatting is screwed up. I might have screwed up the formatting. No, because things went into negative. No. All right. One thing I want to do is I want to disable the timer for a second. Let's make sure I'm even displaying it correctly, right? Let's just make sure. I don't think I looked at it. So it should say 5. It should say 05:00.00 is what it should say. That's what we're gonna. That's what we want to see. 05:00.00. No, 05:00.00. Wait. Let me see. Let's look. We'll look at it. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, 05:00.0. That is correct. That is good. But why? But I should. It's counting down really fast, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what happened there. What happened there? What happened? What happened? Start value. Did I set start? Start has, if start doesn't have a value, I'm setting it to now. So it sets now. Update the timer. The timer's on. Take now from the start value, subtract it. So that's the total time elapsed. That's the number of milliseconds that have elapsed. And I'm going to subtract those milliseconds from this milliseconds. And then I'm going to do this. Something doesn't seem right here. Now this code counted up. Why wouldn't it count down? Another thing. No. It did the math correctly. It did the math correctly. OMG. What? Oh. I know it. I know why I can't write it for writing. Okay. I was getting ready to apologize to you, Windows, and then you made me a liar. Do I have a debug screen open somewhere? Is that the problem? No, I don't have a bug. Okay, now it wrote it. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. New game. Countdown timer. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, wait, I didn't turn the timer on. Okay, that's fine. Let's turn the timer on. We will get to the bottom of this. I have faith that together we will go on this journey unless Windows stops telling me that it can't write the file. Okay. All right. That was my fault, Windows. It's my fault. Windows, I said it was my fault. Windows, accept my apology. What the F? Thank you. All right. Let's go. Let me make sure it was doing what I thought it was doing. It was counting down really fast. Let's look at it again though. We did only look at it once in my memory. Maybe I'm just Okay, let me get rid of this. Yeah. That's definitely not minutes. What is the malfunction here? It's thousands, 60. So it's milliseconds. Time remaining in milliseconds. So this would be the minutes that we would want to divide by 60,000, or would it be 6,000, or would it be 1,000? No. It's all fine, right? If we look at the math for time controller, it's something with the math, I think. 1,000, 10,000. Yeah, it's fine. 60, is this all the same? 60 divided by, yeah, that is all the same. So the first time it updates it correctly, but then it doesn't after that. I feel like it's a math thing. It's a math thing. Vladimir Unufried asks, language is C++. We're working with SFML and, or SMFL, SFML, and C++. All right, let's make sure our types are the same. I don't think that is the problem, but let's make sure our types are the same. So we're using N32. We're casting the count to an N30 time space count. So this time space is definitely, so I'm taking it and I'm casting it to milliseconds, which is what I want. I'm taking the current time, subtracting the start value. Oh, I think I see the problem. I see the problem. Assembler is better. Well, okay, yeah, okay, fine. All right, lead code writer. Go ahead and you go hack in your assembler. You go ahead and write SFML and it's not called assembler. It's called assembly. So go ahead and write your little code in assembly. Have fun. Okay, so the problem is that start, I shouldn't be comparing against start. I need to be comparing against when it started. I need, okay, okay, so at the start of the controller, I understand the problem, I'm just not sure how to fix it right now. Basically, what's happening is, I need, when this gets initialized, I need its start time there? No, wait a minute. Maybe I don't know what the problem is. Zero, one's better. I prefer actually just writing on the magnetic disk, just kind of like, doing the little notches. I prefer coding directly on the disk. That's how you get true performance. It's just like doing the little like ones and zeros on the disk somehow. Like that's how I prefer programming. All right, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I see the problem, I think, but actually that doesn't even make sense to me. No, I don't see the problem, because it should be how many milliseconds elapsed from the start of the controller, which is what this is. Or at least I think it is. Elapsed. Oh, yeah, I see. This is the problem here. What I need is, I see what the problem is. I need something like, I can't use time remaining. I can't use this as I need a new variable called elapsed time. I know this is just getting out of hand. Let's just get rid of one of these and just do this. Even though I'm sure the optimizer would have done this as well. Let's just do this. So the problem was that I had the number of milliseconds remaining and I kept subtracting from it. Whereas I don't know how to explain it, but I understand it. I understand what the problem was. And what we'll need to do is we'll need to replace all of these. This should be better. This should be, actually, I prefer programming by just sending the electrical impulses directly to the CPU. Just I hook my mind up to the CPU and then just send the little the assembly instructions directly to the computer. That's what I prefer. Okay, this should work. Let's see. I'm a genius. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. I'm a genius. Unbelievable. All right, let's check this code in so we don't lose it. What did we change in time game controller? Did we change something there? Oh yeah, I moved when the timer starts. So I was thinking the reason I changed when the timer starts is because I was thinking of Mortal Kombat. Now, I don't know if you've ever looked. Mortal Kombat has technical documentation for people who take that game seriously. For people who like play the game competitively, there is technical documentation telling you like how many frames each like move, each defense, everything makes, like literally down to the frame. And but the cool thing about that is that the pragmatic preciseness that you have to have in order to achieve that kind of performance it's impressive. Like being able to being able to know that like you're going to process this in X amount of frames. I mean, I don't know, but just like being able to tell like, well, this command takes 4 frames, whereas this other one takes 9 frames to do, and then, but it just being able to have that kind of balance within the game, it's not easy to do. So the reason I changed where the timer begins is because I want the timer to start as close to, and I mean instruction wise, I want it to start as close to when the player can actually start playing. Because it's not fair if the timer starts and then the player has to wait a half second before they can actually start playing. That's not fair. So you want to start the timer as close to as when the player can start playing. And that's why like I literally just moved the timer down, like the timer start, I moved that down like 3 instructions. 3 lines of code, not 3 instructions. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, so we should have something that counts down, and it's counting down. And then maybe what we'll do really quick is we'll have it hand off control to the game over controller when, oops. We'll have it hand off control to the game over controller when the countdown gets down to 0. So what we'll do is we'll do this. We're going to change it to, we're going to have just 5 seconds, right? We don't want to have to sit here and wait 5 minutes for it to test something. And then let's see. So what we'll do, we don't ever want to display negative time. So if elapsed time, oh look, see, thank you AI. If elapsed time is less than or equal to 0, actually it just needs to be less than. Finished equals true, elapsed time equals 0. That sounds good to me. Finished, we should have a finished variable. Finished equals false, but when we, in this case, we have finished equals true, and then we come down, we update it really quick. That should be it. Yeah, that should be it. Let's look. So we should have to wait 5 seconds, really. We should watch the countdown timer for 5 seconds, and then boom. What time is it for you? It is what time is it? It is 9:14 a.m. And what kind of game is this? This is the goal of this game, or the purpose of this game. It's a I'll explain in a second. I'll explain with this one. You are asked to draw a map of a country. So here, it says Bolivia 111 because I was testing stuff, but you will be asked to draw a picture of Bolivia. And then so, Bolivia kind of looks like this, and then kind of over here, like something like that. It kind of also looks like Texas. All right, so then now you hit space. Oh, you got to draw the USA. And, this is going to trigger Joe because I'm sure I'm going to, let's see, we got the Great Lake, and then we come up here, and then up, down here, and then we got Florida. Texas sticks out a little bit over here, and then we got California, like that. All right, and then Canada. Oh, Canada. What does Canada look like? Something like this. And then you got that big, Gulf, and then you have Quebec over here, and then it just kind of borders the U.S. and then kind of goes up like that. All right, that's Canada. And then Mexico. What's Mexico look like? Like this, and then you got the Yucatan, something like that. It goes down further, and that's Mexico. So now you got to do this within, there's certain modes of, drawing the maps, and this is where you're being timed. right? And then now game over, and then you have a score and a time. The score and the time, nothing's being calculated yet. Again, as I explained earlier, I'm just trying to get the mechanics in place to kind of get the flow. These don't mean anything. These numbers don't mean anything yet. So that is the game. So that was timed mode. We're working on countdown mode, where you are given X amount of time to draw as many countries as you can with as much accuracy as you can. Okay, so this should go to game over. 3, 2, 1, and game over should be blank. Okay, well, actually, game over did nothing. Okay, what we can do really quickly, because we're about ready to call it a day, is we can just take the game over text from our other one right here, literally just plop that into the constructor. And I think that's it. I mean, that's all we need to do. Actually, maybe we'll just take this as well. Again, I am copying so much code. I wouldn't ream a developer that would try to put this in as a PR. I wouldn't call them stupid or anything, but I would reject this PR. I probably would reject it, but that's okay. Will there be any verification of results? Yes. You will be measured on how accurately you draw the map and also how fast. Or can you just point? Vladimir says, will there be any verification of results, or you can just point? I don't know what you mean by you can just point. Okay. And so this should show a game over and then allow me to hit escape. I think that's what this will do. Right? We have added the screen. It should count down. It should go to game over and then allow you to escape back to the menu. So let's try that out. And let's make sure that works. We'll check in the code and then we'll call it a day. All right, it's counting down. It didn't make the screen invisible. That's what I forgot to do. All right. I can do that right here in the game over controller. All right. Last time. How are you going to check according to some type? Yes. So the plan with that is so there is this map format called KML, and you can freely download the map data for basically every territory in the world. What in the hell? Come on, Windows. Let me write the. Oh my God, Windows, you're pissing me off. So you can download map data for pretty much every territory, country, state, county in the world, free on the internet. So part of this project will be taking that KML data and kind of converting it into a grid. So what I mean by that is, here, I'll just show this. We'll be converting it into grid data. Like this is just a grid, right? So taking the KML data, converting it into a grid. And so now once you have the grid data, you can take the grid data that the user draws, and you got to do some centering and scaling, and you got to do whatever. But then you can kind of do some just basic matrix mathematics on it, like a matrix difference probably would work, or I don't know, probably some, I'm going to have to research that. But anyway, you'll be able to tell how closely the user drew the map to what the map actually is, and from that you can generate a score. But let's get back to what we were doing. So I like talking about work. Okay, so this should count down, and it should do blank. Why didn't it make it invisible? Right here, set visible false. Game countdown, game over controller. Well, where do I do it here? Start controller. I think I know why. I need to add start control. I need to add start controllers for the. Let's see, start controllers. Let's just add this right here. These are public, right? Yeah, they're public. Okay, so we can just Thank you, Microsoft, for being kind and allowing and just generating these without me having to type them. I appreciate that. That's very, very, very thoughtful of you, Microsoft. So let's just pull this here. And then that should just go right there. Okay, let's see if that happens. And Vladimir Afryunov says nice. Nice. Thank you, Vladimir Vladimir. Okay, we're compiling. Oh boy. Oh. I'm about ready to call it a day for this little project here. Let's just want to get this last thing working. This is what we had committed to at the beginning of the stream. So I just want to I don't want to walk away until it's done. Okay, 5, 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to say game over. Doesn't need to show a score right now. We're not even calculating scores. Again, we just wanted to get the scaffolding in place. And I think we have accomplished that with this new mode. I mean, you could make an argument, okay, well, let's show some scores. You're showing fake scores on the other one. Show fake scores on this one. But you know what? No, because you're not the boss of me. Again, when you start paying me, then I'll do this right. Until then, I'm doing it quick. Or easy, at least. Okay. Edit, countdown, game, controller. And in case you are curious, this code is, I keep meaning to mention this, this code is on GitHub. I have been putting it on my GitHub right here. So it is at GitHub Zethon, ZETHON /GeoSketch. I added a README file to it last night, just basically for my own notes. But the code, all the code is here. As you can see, like it's still. I started working on it last year, but then, as I often do, I abandoned it. But then I decided that I wanted to work on it on stream, which is what I've been doing. So the code is here, all at GitHub /Zethon, ZETHON /GeoSketch. If you want to check out the code, or if you want to download it, compile it, and help out. But sure. I'd welcome that as well. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the time that you have taken to watch this stream. And I will probably see you next weekend. So until then, be sure to click and subscribe. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.